This basically is the Lassie method of how to get into a great school. You're signed up here to get a higher SAT score, which is one way to open doors. There are basically 6 ways to open doors. If you have this is success in life as well as how to get into a great college. If you have an additional language, if you were blessed with the opportunity to be bilingual or trilingual, colleges take note of that. They want to have diversity on their campuses. If you have the same person with the same SAT score, same GPA, and the other person has 3 languages, there's going to be a weight towards that person. Academics, you can do something about it. That's neat.
Ironic on the word.
But at this stage, most of you can do very little to alter this. And if you haven't learned another language by this point, do it eventually. I'm working on Arabic now. Oh boy. Kef halak? Ahoy. Hamdallah. Okay? So, you know, take opportunities to increase this. It will improve your mind. Even at the age of 80, if you're learning new words in another language, you are setting yourself up for a successful life and longer life. Doing crosswords is not necessarily going to stave off senility, but learning another language has been shown to help you in that direction. We're now going to look down here at social skills, inheritance, and experience. In this area, colleges can definitely look at, see, well, okay, your granddad went here, so we're going to give you a few points because we like to have those legacies. But if you don't have that in there, you have inherited your parents' network. And that network could lend you a very useful internship. And be thinking about what you do in your interning. Some people think that they're going to go to college to find out what they're going to do in life. That's fine. There is this philosophy that you tend to learn better if you have a specific goal, and then the teacher can help you move towards that goal. If you don't know what you want to do for the rest of your life, that's okay. But communicate your interests. If you like video games, I can change how I teach my math to you. If you are very interested in becoming a doctor of some sort or working in law, suddenly that makes it easier for me to send you articles that push, and you're more likely to respond to that type of vocabulary because it's something near your interest. The theory is that it's the horizon. We tend to learn what's on our horizon. If I tell all of you to learn the word troglodyte, you could memorize it. You could learn what a ziggurat is. But for those people who want to become architects, I'm going to start with ziggurat because it's a kind of architecture. And when I tell you the story about it, you're going to want to know more about that word because I know where you're headed. So look at what you've inherited from your parents, their connections, and then try to build a stream of experience that shows that you're moving towards something that you're committing your life to. For example, if a college admissioner, put yourself in the position of a college admissions officer, got someone in front of you who volunteered at a dog pound where they kill dogs one year, and then the next year they went and were volunteer with at a hospital, and then the next year they were a volunteer at a recycling center. I don't hear a narrative there. 3 different places. Contrast that with a student who, in the summer, volunteered at the dog shelter, followed up the next time with a veterinarian, then followed up by helping at the Humane Society or something like that. And then when you ask them what they want to do, they said, well, I want to become an attorney for dogs, or I want to become a vet. That sort of person is easier to place in a university because they have a track that they're following. If you don't have that track, build one. And that's where this thing called Lulu comes up. Some students become very focused on something. We want odd people on a university campus. This idea of the well-rounded person, if you have a bunch of well-rounded people on a campus, you've got a lot of people that have very similar backgrounds. And the admissions officer is charged with bringing together a community of really odd people, because that's what makes a community. You've got to have people that are different. You've got to have your athletes, the scientists, whatever. And so the more that you can distinguish yourself, and you're not going to, just by having a number, I've got a 3.8. Oh, mine's 3.9. Who cares? I want to hear that life story, that experience. As an admissions officer, I would want to have and invite someone to come to the campus who has something special. They have this spark. And each one of you has the potential for doing this. If you don't have it right now, you can find it. The example I give was this kid that was in the back of the class. He just sort of leaning back, and he spent the whole time in my course, the first day, just kind of doodling. He wasn't really that interested in the SAT scores. And I asked him, what do you want to do? He said, well, really, right now I'd rather be fishing, because I really like fishing. And I know and so I asked him, I bet you know a lot of really nice places to fish in Broward County. He said, yeah, I could tell you right now that you really ought to be away from that canal, and the fish are biting more on this other lake. I said, why don't you publish a website or create a book, an e-book, an electronic book. You can post it on Lulu, no charge. The only charge is when it's actually ordered. And you become a published person, that people will be able to find you. You can also have an identity on YouTube. Brad the fisherman. I don't remember what he called himself, but I eventually got him set up with my camera. He had a little map, and he laid out here on the map, and then he brought in photos from his iPhone showing where it was. I'm not sure if he ever decided to expand that, but it's an example of how anyone with their own experience can build a web presence. The path to success can go through any of these ways. If you don't have what's here, you have here. And we'll discuss something in part 2.